Hi, David Gerard here. I'm in Hutchinson, Kansas, in central Kansas. And I'm here to see the Strataca Mine Museum and to go down into the old mine.
Take about 90 seconds to reach the bottom. If you guys need a light, just let me know and I can turn one on for you. Go to the left. Oh, here he is. Here, see this. There'll be another blue hat out there ready to get you started. You guys can step on out. This is Marie. She'll get you started.
Hi folks, you guys look great. So, I'd just like to welcome you guys to 650 feet underground.
That's great.
Okay, folks are currently standing in what used to be known as the Permian Sea. So, scientists tell us about 275 million years ago, Kansas was covered in a very shallow sea. It's what's known as an abatement, kind of like the Great Salt Lake of the Dead Sea is today, and it left us with all this salt. So our salt band actually stretches from about the Kansas City area all the way down through the state into the Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico panhandle. This just happens to be one of the areas where it's the thickest. It's about 400 foot thick right here. So we actually have about 300 foot of salt above us and about 80 foot below us. But the reason the miners pick 650 feet is because of the purity of the salt. So the salt that you folks are seeing on the walls is about 96% pure salt just as it stands. So the walls actually lead us to one of our rules here. If you folks could please not touch the walls. The reason for that, touching has a tendency to lead to picking. And you guys might think you're picking a piece of salt this big off the wall and one this big falls off the wall and smashes your foot. You're gonna have a really bad day really, really fast, okay?
Carved out into a cracker crevice like the one that we see here. And as that begins to evaporate and solidify, the heavier minerals fell to the bottom, leaving nearly 100% pure crystal salt there at the top, which would technically be safe for human consumption. But for now, we're going to talk about the two most important things to miners. The first would be lights. Can't get much done down here if you're in the dark. Today, thankfully, we have electricity. There's flashlights everywhere. There's even some lights strung across the ceilings here for us in case of emergencies. But in the 1930s, the lights that the miners used were basically just an open flame on their hard hat, a little reflective piece behind it. And they'd do a number of things to make sure that they were always safe. They'd travel in pairs and they'd keep extra flints on them and whatnot, but if your buddy went around the corner and your headlamp blew out, this is what you'd see. Next here, we've got these ore cars. CSC stands for Carry Salt Company. Now each one of these can hold 4 tons of salt. 2 miners, called muckers, would load each by hand. After they'd get a brass chip worth 50 cents. And they'd hold on to all of those chips at the end of the day to make about $4.
While you folks are here, it is a self-guided, self-paced tour. You can take as much or as little time as you'd like. Take as many pictures as you folks would like. Just remember, you won't be able to send them to the outside world because we don't have cell service, okay? If you're just dying to send something to somebody, right around the gift store, we do have Wi-Fi that you guys can get on.